Hey sports fans, Coach Nick here and welcome to B-Ball Breakdown. This Game 6 was absolutely insane. Off the hook, whatever you want to call it. It was all over the place, making me really kind of crazy. It had great play, it had bad play, it had great coaching and bad coaching and good decisions and bad. It was all over the place, not easy to break down. We had 55 clips I went through that I wanted to show and realized I needed to streamline it. So we are going to cut to the fourth quarter when the Heat went on their run to get back in this game. So we're going to look at it from there and see what the issues were going down into the stretch and how this game ended up back in the Heat's hands. While Manu's turnovers have been well documented elsewhere, watch how he needlessly helps on this drive, enabling a simple kick out to Chalmers for a wide open corner three. And this is where the Heat began to turn things around. With their newfound elbow ball screen to the middle, Diao shouldn't be jumping to the outside of the screen and Splitter should foul him before letting him get straight to the rim. This was supposed to be a screen for Ray Allen, who then will screen the ball, but Manu gets in the way and they do a basic elbow screen for Chalmers. The Spurs have to scramble and almost get the stop till LeBron gets the putback, but loses his headband in the process. And this reminded me of another superhero losing his costume. And again, it wasn't just Manu's turnovers, it was also his inaccurate passing as he almost throws this pass away and makes it extra hard on Duncan.
I'm gonna punch you in the ovary. That's what I'm gonna do. A straight shot.
Ooh, ow.
Right to the baby maker.
And on this play, Duncan will come over to shadow LeBron's ISO on Parker. Manu needs to stay on the high side of Birdman to prevent the pass to him. Instead, he lets him slip right to the hoop for the layup. The Spurs break into their basic motion, which gets a lot of movement. It is a little curious they didn't run the loop or an ISO to Duncan in the post. That said, they get a nice green drive and dish to Duncan, but LeBron hasn't lost his Superman powers without his headband. And while his bare head reminded me of this, he bulls his way to the hoop and gets away with a travel on a step through after a step and a jump stop.
It's in the hole! It's in the hole!
The Heat had to grit this one out. Even when the Spurs got Allen to help a hair too much one pass away, Danny Green can't make them pay, and they dig out this tough rebound. Chalmers leads them down court, and watch how Manu has given Allen too much space in the corner. He now has to hurry to close out, does a very poor job, and lets Allen get right to the hoop for a reverse and their first lead of the second half. The Spurs offense faltered in the fourth, making only 6 of 18 shots till this point, and the Heat defense clearly wore them out. Rather than run 25 up or any of their other terrific sets, they do a very ho-hum pick and roll on top with no movement to start. Bosh does an excellent job hedging and getting back on Duncan twice. There is too much standing around, so Parker takes matters into his own hands and nails this ridiculous step back three.
You wanna play this? Say hello to my little friend!
The Spurs finally contain the elbow screen for LeBron by going way underneath the screen, and in the scramble, Parker comes through again with incredible anticipation and steal of Chalmers' pass. All series long, the Spurs have relentlessly attacked Chalmers with Parker, and this possession was no different as he uses a quick screen to get right into the lane and hit a beautiful turnaround jump shot. And here's where it got a little scary for LeBron James, as he gets Tony Parker on him in the switch of the pick and roll. He goes right to the hoop and simply loses the ball, forcing Ray Allen to foul Ginobili and put him on the line. This was a really bad turnover, and I got the impression LeBron was feeling a bit like, here's a mistake by the Spurs. By letting LeBron roll the ball up the court, they saved themselves at least 5 seconds, which sure come in handy later. However, when Allen falls down, the play is busted and LeBron tries to throw a risky, crazy lob pass. Terrible decision, and he turns it over again. The Miami Heat fans were about to head to LeBron's house and do this.
Here's Johnny!
Wait, I'm sorry, that was what Nicholson wants to do to D'Antoni's house. So Manu only made one of those free throws to give them a 5-point lead. The Spurs want to switch everything, but watch how Manu screws this up too. He should go with Wade, But this forces Kawhi to go to Wade, giving LeBron a wide open look at a three. While he misses it, the defense isn't in proper position, and somehow it finds LeBron again, who just took a three and has some rhythm going and nails it.
What? Over? Did you say over? Nothing is over until we decide it is.
Greg Popovich huddles his team together for a pep talk, and we got exclusive footage of it here.
So we're not going to fight anymore. We're going to pull together and we're going to find a way to get out of here.
Kawhi Leonard is all fired up from the speech, ready to put the game out of reach with 2 free throws when...
First, we're going to seal off this.
Here's where Greg Popovich overcoached and took out Tim Duncan because they intended on switching everything. However, Parker isn't prepared to switch onto LeBron, who gets another great look at a three. Watch how neither Kawhi Leonard nor Diaw runs to the rim very hard while Chris Bosh does. Improbably, Ray Allen happens to be on the same side as the miss, gets to the three-point line, and nails the game-tying three.
Was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor? Hell no!
German? Forget it, he's rolling.
And it ain't over now.
In the overtime, Wade doesn't do an effective hedge on the screen and roll. Parker easily gets into the lane and finds Kawhi for the layup. The Heat offense looks haphazard as Wade wanders around on top, but LeBron finds Chalmers and screens for him, getting Parker on the switch. He doesn't get lower towards the block and bails the Spurs out with this turnaround from 18 feet.
Stupid! You're so stupid!
Parker pushes the ball and he gets the mismatch on a switch after the pick and roll. But he also bails out the Heat by not going by Bosh and instead opts for a pull-up 20-footer. Our old friend Manu Ginobili is in charge of guarding Bosh in transition since he's the last line of defense. He's too slow to react, and not only doesn't he stop the pass, but he fouls Bosh for the and one.
God, Karen, you are so stupid.
Of course, Chris Bosh misses the free throw, and the Heat faithful are feeling like this. The Spurs get the lead again, and this time it's Wade's turn to get sphincteritis, tossing a terrible pass to LeBron that gets stolen.
I think you're the greatest, but my dad says you don't work hard enough on defense, and that you don't really try, except during the playoffs.
Of course, Tony Parker misses 1 of 2, and Coach Popovich must be thinking of doing this to him.
Please don't do it.
Just one more.
Exhausted, these two teams come down and the Heat run a nice double pin down for Ray Allen. Parker should have stepped over more, but Ray hits a nice tough shot. The Spurs get confused with this play as you'll see a sideline screen and roll on the left side, but Diaw and Leonard are playing the same position. This allows Dwayne Wade to double the roll man hard, and the Spurs don't have a cutter to take advantage. With the clock winding down, Parker should attack LeBron, but settles for a 30-footer.
God damn it!
After a LeBron score and a shot clock violation by the Spurs, the Heat get another switch of Manu on LeBron, who isolates. Manu does a nice job defending with a little help from both Leonard and Duncan, and Kawhi comes up with a tough rebound. Confusion again on this out-of-bounds play. I believe Manu was supposed to set a down screen for Parker in the corner, and Duncan would hand off to Parker coming around. Instead, Manu comes back for the ball, and Bosh does a nice job to steer Parker towards the half court. With plenty of time, Manu hurdles himself out of control towards the rim, gets stuck in the air, and it looks like he wants to make the hammer pass to the corner. But the weak side guys aren't setting that back screen to get Kawhi open. He changes his mind in midair and just throws the ball and this game away.
You arrogant ass. You've killed us.
Danny Green almost saves the game with this incredible strip of LeBron, remarkable because the refs didn't call an assumed foul. In a perfect position to get a 2-for-1, Parker knows he wants to get off a quick shot. Bosh does a perfect job hedging, and instead of trying to blow by him, Parker again settles for a 22-footer that Bosh blocks.
Yes! In the face!
The Heat try to run the clock down and get a good shot. They use the Bulls' bread and butter hawk play, screen and roll on one side with a double down screen for Ray on the other. Ray is wide open coming off, but Wade takes a step back 20-footer instead. Apparently LeBron felt like this.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore!
Nobody seems to want to win this game. Popovich wants to attack without calling timeout, but the problem is Tony Parker, his best player for this situation, is on the bench. So they turn to Manu who has turned the ball over 7 times already in this game. He tries to get to the middle, travels, and gets the ball ripped out of his hands. There just doesn't seem to be enough in this situation for the refs to call it. Finally, down 3, Popovich calls a great play. Screen for Danny Green coming to the ball, then have him turn around and get a flare screen towards the weak side corner. This is a great play because if the screener's man has to help on the skip pass, the screener can get wide open for the shot. But Popovich has Splitter setting the screen, a complete and utter non-threat from 3. You can see how open anybody else would have been cutting back to the ball. As it is, Green is able to catch and shoot, but Bosch blocks it. And again, the refs swallow their whistles in these situations, and the game is officially over. So there you have it, sports fans. A really crazy game. The Spurs had it and they gave it away. The Heat stayed with it. They didn't give up, and that's to be commended. But let's not hide the fact here that the Spurs should have had the championship trophy in their hands already. Can they come back from this? Well, a lot of teams would fold. If there's any team that's going to be able to stay resilient, it is the Spurs. And I expect a pretty good game. Certainly, I hope it's better than what we saw from the Celtics-Lakers back in 2009, whatever it was, because that was kind of an ugly game and not very fun. Let's hopefully we get a good game here, and may the best team win, because certainly it's been all over the place. This whole series has been great. So don't forget to follow us on Twitter during the game, and our halftime and post-game show will definitely be great with live analysis of what's going on and who will be the champion of 2013 in the NBA. Because don't forget, at B-Ball Breakdown, we're not a channel, we're a conversation. You win.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.